And thank you guys so much for like coming today and being a little bit more interested about like how to grow your brand or making a brand or like wherever you are in your like kind of building your business phase. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit more about myself. Yes, I am from the entertainment industry, so kind of like the why behind like why I am doing this today. Because so I when I first graduated from ODU, I worked inside a corporate marketing company, right? And it was very sometimes when you are in the corporate marketing like area, you kind of don't have the ability to kind of like share your ideas or really help people like how you want to. And so, but making your own business, you can do whatever you really want to do. And my mission is just to educate people, mentor them, teach them everything that they need to know about making their customer their number one priority and not like always focus up on the sale. And so if you guys don't walk away with anything else, please walk away that like knowing that when you are making your own business, it's all about your customer because your customer is the one that is really paying your bills and that is really going to be kind of advocating for you when you can't even reach people. So with this workshop, I always like to set some ground rules, like rules because everyone has like this idea of social media being like this like get rich quick thing or anyone can do it. And so yes, anyone can do social media, but not everyone can do social media for business and can make money with it. And so with that, I have these little things we're saying where this workshop is not going to be for you if you think social media will get you instant leads. Social media is great for you to build your brand and for people to really know more about you, to really get that bond with them. It's not going to be that thing that one Instagram post is going to equate to an actual like $1,000 in sales. You really got to take more work than that. This workshop is not for you if you don't value your customer's opinion. This workshop is going to be totally focused on digging deeper into the mindset of how your customer thinks and what they like and what they don't like. Your This workshop is also not for you if you don't think you have any competitors. That is a total if you don't have any competitors, they are coming. So whether you are you're starting this whole new idea within your company, someone's going to notice it and they're going to want to do the same thing. But what's going to make you unique and keep you in business is your brand. And this workshop is for you if you have customers but you don't know how to relate to them. You guys are this workshop is really for people that have like small to medium-sized businesses. So I kind of repurposed the thing a little bit. But even if you are doing a project or anything like that, kind of put yourself inside the business setting and imagine that you do have customers right now. And through this workshop, start thinking about what they look like, what they like, and kind of thinking about how you would want to sell to them. And if you think your competitors are marketing online better than you, and I am always a big advocate for not copying your competitor, but just seeing what they're doing and finding ways for you to make it better. So if you are in here and you know that your competitors are doing a lot better on social media, you're already in the right mindset of wanting to do better than them and wanting to make whatever that they're doing a little bit better in your own. And you understand that marketing is totally needed for your business. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to use social media or if you don't know how to use Pinterest, Instagram, or whatever. Marketing is totally just relationship based. So it doesn't matter if you're taking the perfect photo or if you have the right video or if you have the right script. It's just all about you being in tune to what your customers want from you. So with that, another thing that I also show is what is a brand story? And I kind of want to do this video real quick because this is going to kind of be the mindset that I want you guys to also take away with you. And so watch this video for me and tell me what you saw in this whole thing. Oh, I should help you. Can someone tell me what they saw in that video?
A really aggressive triangle.
Yeah. Yep.
Breaking down the barriers. We were breaking down the barriers.
Okay. Anyone else? Can someone tell me what they saw? There's no right answer there, and there is no wrong answer. So just feel free to give me your best opinion.
They were fighting.
They were fighting. Okay. Anyone? I'm gonna take one last person. Does someone just yell what you saw? Yeah.
They were only able to focus on one thing at a time. Like I noticed a couple of occurrences.
Yeah.
Just focusing their attention on one thing and something will be happening that they weren't seeing.
Okay. Okay. So with this, so all of your answers, like I said before, they're not wrong. They're all right. They all just it all just depends on how you perceive certain things, and that's really what marketing is, and like that's even what telling your brand story is. And so it's all about finding that connection. And so we all took different things from that video. Some people said that it was like brothers and sisters fighting. Somebody said that like the triangle was aggressive. Other people outside of this one think that it's just two strangers having a whole disagreement. And so we take we take shapes or we take whatever we see and then we relate it to our own like kind of things that we can relate to. That's all that marketing really is, and that's really what branding is you finding the right people that are speaking your same language and that are relating to the same things that you are putting out. So that they are relating to the same messages that you are putting out. And so think of your brand story almost as a nonverbal elevator pitch, to where you are telling people like your why, or like you're sending off these messages about your business without being directly saying it. Like, so you're not saying that you value philanthropy, you're showing them, and they are able to relate to whatever they see online, to what they can kind of consider that as being philanthropy. I'm all caught up. But, so basically, a brand story is just what people believe about you based upon what they see, so their own experiences. So it doesn't help companies saying what their why is. You have to show what your why is in order for anyone to actually hear about it and actually tell someone else about it. So instead of like marketing with like flyers and commercials with like being so direct in what you're selling, your brand story and branding is being that indirect piece of marketing that allows people to make their own assumptions. And hopefully they are the right kind of assumptions if you are like marketing to the right people. And so we have to ask ourselves, what connection are we trying to make? So even though we are business owners or aspiring business owners, we are in the business of connections and building bonds with people. And so all marketing is, I've said it probably like 12 times by now, but all it is just building relationships with people and building those actual connections. And so referencing to the video, you guys saw people fighting and all this other stuff. We can't really control what people see if we are marketing to everyone, which is why we have to market to a direct set of people that really get whatever kind of marketing that we're putting out to help increase our brand. And with that, an easy way to kind of find out like, well, what kind of message should I be sending out? You gotta kind of find a set of core values. And core values are just a really fancy way of figuring out what makes you more unique than anyone else in your industry. And so they are things that support your overall vision, they connect with your culture, and they also reflect with what your company values as a whole already. So these things they're not just like a one-size-fits-all type of thing. So, and it's not like industry standard. So if you are a financialized company, like your core values wouldn't be to be compliant so that you can serve your customers better. That's what you have to do, or you will get shut down. It's something a little bit more deeper. So like, is it giving back? Is it always keeping your prices low? Is it always giving your customers a unique experience? And here is one example. Is anyone familiar with Taste Unlimited? Yeah. So I like Taste, maybe a little bit too much, but they have amazing core values, and two of those values are that they only um, they only make what good for you food. So you can walk inside any Taste and know that whatever's up on the menu is good for you, and you know that if you went to the gym, you'll go to Taste, and you know that you won't regret it later on. Or you know that if you are like a mom and you don't want to cook, you can go to Taste and get a really healthy meal for your kids. Another thing is that Taste also supports local causes, and so that is a big thing for a local brand, because if I am a parent or if I am a young professional that I care so much what I give my money to, I would rather support a smaller business that is helping local charities or educational facilities and things like that versus going to McDonald's or Wendy's. And so I have a slide to kind of help you guys evaluate whether or not like your core value is an actual core value and not just a like fancy tagline like something like better together, or just something that doesn't really make sense. And so the first thing that I want to ask you is, so basically, if you can answer yes to all of these questions, you should be able to stick with this core value. And so the first one is, are your values fundamentals regardless of whether or not they are awarded? And that means, so if you are a company and you value company culture and treating your employees well, the question is, if you didn't win if you didn't win Best Places to Work 9 times in a row, would that still be your core value? And the answer should be yes. Even if you never won an award for whatever you're taking value and pride in, it should still be a consistent core value. If you woke up with enough money to retire, would you still hold these values true? Now, that means that if you woke up and won the lottery and you own your business and one of your core values is giving back to the community, does that mean that you stop doing that? The answer should be no, because it is one of your core values, and no matter how much money that you get, you want to stay true to it. If you were 100, sorry, not if you were 100 years old, but if you are old and retired and it's 100 years down from you running your business, would these values still stay the same? And would you want to hold these values even if they end up being a competitive disadvantage? So who knows about the Green Flash Brewing Company? You guys probably don't drink yet, do you? Oh, okay. Well, so the Green Flash is a green company from California, and they just put a brewery here maybe a year ago, and now they are closing up because they can't get all the accounts that they need to run the business here. And so before I made this presentation, I thought that one of their core values is always staying innovative, like no matter like what. So they always have these new beers and new things like that. But that may have been a disadvantage, because they were probably producing so much different types of beer every week, every month, or anything like that, and they weren't able to sell them, or they were wanting to spread out somewhere that they couldn't actually get accounts for. And so one of their core values is to be innovative and to spread education to people all around the world, right? And so what happened, I think, last week was that they were maybe a little bit too innovative and moved at the wrong time without really getting those accounts. So it kind of ended up being a disadvantage. And so they didn't. So now they don't want to stay at their actual location. They want to go back. And so maybe innovation is not a total core value. They still consider it as one, but from me using this test, I don't consider it a strong enough core value yet. But I mean, Great Flash is really huge. So like maybe I'm just wrong, but I really think that if you are really set to your core value. You're going to just like kind of set it out and just see what you can do until things get better. And the last one is, would you build these core values into another company? And so the example that I give for that one is, if you are a lawyer and you have a practice and your core values is giving back to the community or anything like that, and you were to open up some kind of like ice cream shop or something, would you still want to apply that same core value to that shop? The answer should be yes. And so after you have those core values, um, you should have like a decent core message of like, who you are and what you do and like the why behind your business. So I am a small business consultant that specializes in social media and brand strategy. I want to help other small businesses because I understand that not everyone has a budget to hire a huge agency, and I know that there are other businesses out there that don't really teach their clients what they should be teaching them because they want their money. They don't give them the actual value that they need to kind of grow and build a business up on their own. And so that's kind of like my why. And so you guys should be applying that same kind of mindset to that. And so regardless, so I like run mine through this kind of filter, and it stays true no matter what. And so with that, since you have your core values, it's time for you to kind of find an ideal customer. And when you do this, when I ask clients all the time, like, so who are you trying to attract? And they say everyone. And everyone cannot be your target customer, because when you market to everyone, you're actually talking to no one. Has anyone ever played the game telephone, like when they were like really, really small? So what happens in telephone when you have this one message and then you pass it all around and it just gets so jumbled up? It turns out to be I went for a walk in the rain one day to I had burgers and fries yesterday. Like it doesn't make sense, and that's what happens when you are marketing to everyone. Not those people are not receiving your message the way that you want them to, and so when you are marketing or when you are trying to grow your brand, you only want to hone in on this one person. Marketing, branding is all about just attracting and repelling the right people. That's all it is throughout the entire length of your entrepreneurship career. And so with that, every person that I talk to, after I tell them everyone is not your target market, they say, well, I gotta make some money and I gotta either make a sale or I don't eat. And I feel them, but this is the thing where if you are really honing in to the person that you are talking to, you're going to catch more people for less money and less effort, because all you're doing is focusing up on this one person, and when you do that, they become very loyal to you and they start marketing for you. The goal is to get to know someone so well so that when you are not even around, they are promoting your brand and your business without you even paying them to do so. And so I have this little exercise that I run everyone through identifying their customer. And so it's like what is the problem? How do you consume information? What values are important to the customer? What brands do they follow? And what information do they search for online? And the last question is very important for social media marketing. So if you are putting out information that your customer wants to already know, that they're already searching for, you're doing all of the work for less time. So if you are some type of financial consultant, right, and you're just putting out these very generic pieces of information, you're spending so much time because you don't know exactly who you are trying to reach. But if you know that you're looking for solopreneur moms that have trouble with like balancing their checkbooks and their financial things with like their family stuff and everything else, you can start making content that relates to that, and they start speaking your language. Well, you start speaking their same language, and it just becomes such an easier experience. And then people start engaging with your content because it speaks to them right off the bat. And so I made kind of an example of this ideal customer. And this one, so actually let me kind of go back. So this is only 5 questions to help you get started, but I challenge every person to make it an actual person, like kind of put a name, face, income, what they do, okay, who they like, how many employees they follow, how many employees they have, what is their current inspiration, things like that. And so, does this seem like a real person to y'all? Am I missing anything? Like, do you think that you could probably see this person in real life? Like, yes.
Oh no, give me a second, let me read it.
Okay, sorry. You guys read that, and she's 38 years old with a bachelor's in nutrition. She's a registered dietitian and a personal trainer. She's also an owner of a personal training and nutrition business that has 6 trainers underneath her and 2 nutrition experts. Her inspiration is Julie and Michael. She downloads the app and everything. She sometimes gets some of her workouts from there. Whenever she's looking for types of information, she reads online subscriptions. So she goes and she like subscribes to email lists and other things that help her do her job better. And she's worried about client retention in her local market share. So when she is an actual certified trainer, she struggles with things like Planet Fitness popping up and one like having like their own like little group of trainers, and also the white MCA having their own trainers. So she's trying to figure out how does she kind of make herself stand out when other local gyms at a lower price are offering like the same service. And trust and education are the most important values to her. And she wants to know more about marketing and how she can implement it with help from someone. And so that's kind of what you want to do when you are building out someone that you want to market to, because that way you can make content that is just for them. Like I can use this and probably even this as like 3 forms of content or 3 core messages that that this person is always concerned about, and always get them to subscribe to my email list and invest in me, and then eventually making a sale. Does that make sense? So you're just building some kind of profiles that you always can run the filter through any kind of content that you want to post. And so I also have this thing. So when someone builds their ideal customer profile, I have this thing where if you ever want to post like a blog post or video or anything like that, I ask them, are you seeing what your customer's seeing? And what that means is, are you being relatable? How are you being useful? And is your message consistent or cohesive to your brand? And I want to break this down for you right now. So being relatable is really as simple as it sounds. Like you don't have to think about it. You already know your customer. You know what they care about. All you have to do now is just put it out into the world. And so some really easy things to do is post a behind the scenes type of like video. Use Instagram stories. Do a question and answer online that deals with one of those questions that your ideal customer suffers with the most. And also maybe even giving some kind of inspirational like tips that they can resonate with. And so the U stands for being useful. How are you solving their problem? The problem isn't that they need to buy your product because they suffer with X. The problem is that they think a little bit more deeper. Think about the emotion that comes along with that problem and how you are actually there to help guide them through that process. So if I am some kind of natural hair care company, I want to make sure that my customer's problem would be that they look around like stores like Walgreens or stores like Target, and they can't find the hair care product that they really need because it just messes up the hair. They don't trust it. And so the problem that I would solve is that I want to give them clarity and relief whenever they are trying to clean their hair or trying to get their hair to grow, anything like that. So really dive into that emotion. And so with that, you can so some of like free things that you can give them, but like before they actually move forward and buy your product is giving them some kind of like lead magnet, some kind of downloadable resource, something that can be as easy as something like a checklist or a video series or coupon or or free tickets. When we get to the usefulness side, it's kind of like the call to action. So what do you want them to do in exchange for this kind of very helpful resource? And the last thing is to just be cohesive and be consistent. So has anyone, if you, well, actually you guys probably don't have your own business, but like it takes 7 times for anyone to really do an action off of, for any kind of company. So if you are putting out content all the time, that one person has 7 times to see it in order for them to even act out on it. And what you want to do is just make sure that the information is still on brand. And so if you are using the same colors, you're using the same tone and voice and feel of any kind of content that you put out, that customer should be able to know that it comes right from you. So if it's some kind of resource, make sure that it is designed well and that the content in it sounds like the brand that you want to have, and make sure that that it is on brand with the type of useful content that you send out. So if you are some kind of trainer, you don't want to put out how to get abs in like one day and then like five weight loss tools that will help you get the job done. That doesn't make sense for your brand because you want them to come to you. You don't want them to use like tools like they find on HSN. And so I want to ask you guys, like, what is your story? If you have some type of, I don't know, some of you guys may not have this thing, but if you have some kind of project that you're working on, or if you have some type of idea that you want to put out into the world, what is going to be your story? Like, what's going to make that unique and that thing different compared to whatever else is out there? Does anyone have that kind of idea or any kind of like project that they're working on right now?
Somewhat. Not a business, but a club that's related to a business. We're called Ludo Sports, and it's basically like fencing, but with lightsabers. And it's our first year, and I was basically put into the position of student liaison, which means that I'm like publicity. And I've been having trouble trying to get people to come. Though all I can think of is just flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, although
And what is the club?
it's called Ludo Sports. It's a lightsaber type club.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so do you have so what I would do is I don't know if anyone would know what that is from the name.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is kind of like tap into the type of people that you want to attend and the type of things that they want to see before they like commit to a club or like they even want to stop by a club. So that could be like videos or I don't know what the club guidelines are here, but if you can have some kind of like Instagram page that shows that kind of stuff there, or like a Facebook group or something like that, that may help you a lot.
Yeah. I mean, got a Facebook group, so I think it's just like got a Facebook group. Though, like you said, social media isn't like the one that like it's not the biggest thing. Like yeah.
Yes, ma'am, and that.
Maybe, do you guys do like jobs and stuff, or like, what do you do? What is it considered, like a fight that you do?
Oh, so it's technically a sport, and basically how it works. Um, how it works is that, or how it started was a bunch of guys in Italy. They were like, huh, what if we made the whole lightsaber thing they do in Star Wars an actual sport? So they got like bunch of martial art like masters, just put them in a room like, hey, here's a lightsaber, try see if you can make a martial art of it. And so it's a legit sport. It's not like the LARPing you see nerds do, but like it actually has rules, and it's like there's a point system. Yeah, no, because the first thing people think of is like, oh, it's just like a sci-fi themed LARP thing where people just bang around with sticks. No, it's like it's actually like fencing except with lightsabers. So the appeal is to get kind of the dream of being a Jedi while it being fun at the same time. And so I guess the hardest part is getting the word out. Just like with any club. I mean, like, I guess a misconception that a lot of people have is like just because you go to a school doesn't mean you know about every single club that's there.
Are you? I don't know what the rules are, but are you like allowed to just put on whatever you put on and go inside the web and just like start jousting?
Oh no. There's like all these rules because technically it's not just a thing me and like a couple friends came up with. It's like it's an actual thing. Or how do I explain that? We partner with a group that is there's an official sport thing in the area, and so we are basically the first ever university to actually host this club at a university. Usually this is its own separate thing. So that's what we do, and we meet up every Fridays at 6 to 9. And we have this whole safety procedure. We provide lightsabers, so it's not like one that you could get at Toys R Us. There's like special lightsabers to use it for, designed for this. And then there are classes where you learn the different techniques, how to conduct them safely, and blocks and such. Yeah.
What I would do is I would probably like reach out to people that are like want to do like karate or jujitsu or even like dancers who want to like broaden their perspective as far as movement goes. That's where I would probably start.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has got to be a visual approach, so you're going to have to really rely on it. It can be a variety of visuals, cams, cell phone. I would really, it's a personal thing. It's got to be visual. They want to see the little bit of the pizzazz, Star Wars, hear the zoom sound and the light. But also, I think you have interviews where you actually talk to the club members, like, why are you involved in this? What attracted you? Are you some geeky weird person, or is it, again, just to get the core deal of what to show. Hopefully, there's a variety of people coming into this and why they came into it and what they see they get out of it. And that makes you so you personally connect and then use these Star Wars things and the lights and everything else in the background. And I think we do have, there are, if you look up on YouTube, there's some other clubs in other parts of it. I saw one up in Canada that had a really cool, they were underneath a highway overpass, had a really neat video to get people at least curious about what it is.
Yeah, I think that's like I totally agree with you. It's you got to be visual with it. I don't know if it'll be weird to just go somewhere and just start doing your thing, but I think people have to see that in order to like understand what it is and what you're doing, or to even just be a little bit intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Is anyone else like working on anything or have a business idea that they're thinking about like launching?
It's our class, but it's like a hookah bar in North Carolina, but it's oceanfront, and pretty much it's only going to be open like during the summer. But what we're struggling with is our ideal customer kind of thing. But we went to
What do you have so far like for your ideal customer?
probably like middle aged, like someone who works hard all day kind of thing, and wants to go and like relax after night, or even like locals kind of thing that are just like, or people that are like visiting, like because we want to put it in North Carolina because there's no hookah bars in like a certain mile radius.
And that's the demographic in that area.
But we haven't really looked into it, but there was another previous hookah bar, and we need to do research on like why they're not there anymore kind of thing. So.
Yeah, figure out like why they're not there and what was some of the feedback. And you can probably even find that through social media.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's like tweeting or someone left a review or things like that about what they liked and what they didn't like. What I would do and what what my clients do. Look at your competitors, really look at their reviews, and start making your own like little dictionary of like the terms that they're using and what they liked and what were some of the things that they liked and didn't like, and then kind of formulate your own kind of like plan off of that. Anyone else? Yes.
So I have actually started my own business in August, so I'm in conjunction with the Strome Entrepreneurial Center in the Monarch Way store. So 6 months. So media, digital, that's not my area of expertise. So I'm always looking to come up with my own things. But my story, I'm a fashion designer. I also do print work. So my market is and then go to fashion.
Okay. And so right now, what are you doing for marketing?
I have my website. So and a lot of the marketing is actually done through the marketplace store. So having products in the store and we have their own website. We do a lot of social media, but as far as my personal marketing, I'm not on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem because you're a fashion designer, right? You said you are your brand, so you have to start. So in some cases, your company is actually it's more important for you to focus up on yourself and your own personal your own personal brand because that's going to help people put a face to the brand. And so if you are really focused to women, they want to know more about you. Like, so give them a little bit more than what you're giving them now. Also, try to find some kind of ways to kind of give them behind the scenes things or talk about. I don't want to say like your struggles, but try to find a way that is being transparent so that you can really connect with them and not just. I don't want them to think that you're just in it to take their money or like just want them to buy from you. You want them to connect with you so that they can buy from you like all year long and tell other people about you.
Do you make full on clothes or fabric prints?
Well, fashion designer. So I design anywhere from a gown. Right now in the store I have tutus, hoodies, scarves. Also have my own beauty product line, so it's fashion and print work. But I have a personal clientele where I can actually have this design in progress. So I can actually wear in the fashion show. So it just depends.
How many designs do you do like per month or per
Well, I
year?
work full time, so
Okay.
this is kind of part time. I work mostly on the weekend. So pretty much since we opened the Monterey store, since August, I've been working every weekend with my personal clients and keeping up with inventory. So
If I were you, and so it sounds like you are. So let's say maybe you do like one design and like you put it into like production, maybe like once a quarter or so, right? If that, I don't know what your turnaround time is, but I would also partner with a wardrobe consultant or some kind of like blogger that does fashion and get and send that dress or whatever to them, get them to talk about it, and get them to do some kind of review or do a really good YouTube video on 3 ways to wear it. So it kind of is taking the work off of you for like really trying to do all of the marketing, and you are now collaborating with other people that have their own like circle of influence. Anybody else? Same thing for you. If say that this thing goes off, like there are tons of like chamber events or any type of like ways for you to like partner with anyone or getting work out there. There's a blogger for anything, and there's bloggers everywhere. You just gotta find them. So whether there's like Facebook groups like for like Virginia bloggers, North Carolina bloggers, if you have a really small budget, that's going to be what you want to do. You want to do collaborations. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, I think that's all that I have. If you guys want to reach me, my stuff is right here. I also have a free online course where if you are like thinking about marketing your business and things like that, I have a course that will set you up on how to create better content in just 5 days. And all you have to do is just go to jamardix.com/better content, and it'll take you to the course page.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the clients that you work with?
Yeah, sure. So in the past, I've worked with, so I currently work with a wardrobe consultant and a hairstylist that is in Newport News. Her name is Keisha Roberts, and she owns Wallace Hair Studios. She has about she has 4 stylists underneath her and 2 barbers. And I help her with her strategy and her like campaigns. So just recently, I was tasked with doing a event launch for her for her grand opening, and I partnered with local influencers in the area and local vendors to help make that grand opening into something more serving of the customer, which is something like a flawless hair and beauty mixer, to where people can come and learn more about their journey through their to like guide them through their hair journey, ask any questions, and they can also like buy products there as well. And in that small salon, which is probably like a quarter, maybe like a third of this building, we had 80 people in there, and they were asking questions, getting to know her, and that's kind of the things that I do, along with strategy consultations with like with other wardrobe consultants and other solopreneurs in the area. I normally just like meet with them once a month, give them an action plan, and we hold different forms of like accountability meetings for that.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure to follow at Strome EC to tune in next time.